Have you ever wondered how those businesses at the top of Google actually got there? For example, if you're looking for a plumbing company, how did that specific plumbing company get to the top of Google? Well, that's where search engine optimization, or SEO, comes in. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down what SEO is, how Google works, and the 3 most important things you need to know as a business owner for your website's SEO. So what is SEO? You've probably heard the term thrown around before, but simply put, it's the process of making your website more visible for people searching on Google for your products or services. When you're looking for a local service, what do you usually do? Well, you might pull out your phone and start with the Google search. And here's the thing, your customers are doing the same exact thing, and you want your business to show up when they're searching for the services that you offer. So to get a better understanding of SEO, it helps to kind of understand how Google works. So firstly, how does Google even find your website? Well, think of it like this. The internet is a vast web of different websites. Websites link to one and one links to the other, and so on and so forth. So Google starts by sending out these automated bots, often called spiders, that crawl those links. And so they go from one link to another until they eventually land on your website. And at that point, they take a snapshot of your website and save it to their vast library of other website snapshots. Now here's the important thing. When you do a search on Google, it doesn't actually search the whole internet. It just searches what is in Google's index or library. And based on your query, it comes in and provides you with what it thinks are the best and most relevant results. Think of it like this. Google's kind of like a librarian who's giving you book recommendations based on what you're looking for. So now how does Google determine where your page ranks? And there's actually over 200 different ranking factors. I know, a little overwhelming, but here's the thing. It can be broken down into 3 important points. Number 1, are you saying the right things on your website that customers are searching for? Number 2, is your website set up in a way that Google can understand? And number 3, are other websites mentioning or linking your website? So let's jump into pillar number 1. Are you saying the right things on your website that people are searching for? Listen, here's the deal. You want to make sure that the content on your website uses the terms people are actually searching for. And this is often known as keywords. But there's also a little bit of nuance here with the keywords. There's broader keywords, like let's use an example of a plumbing company, plumber, for a broad keyword, and there's more specific keywords often known as long tail keywords, maybe emergency plumber Detroit. Now, these long tail keywords usually have less searches, but they're usually easier to rank for. But there's also more to it than just the keyword. You want to think about the intent. Why is that user searching for those terms? And this can usually be broken down into 3 different categories: informational, commercial, and transactional. So informational is just someone looking for more information, maybe how to or a guide on how to do something. Commercial is kind of in the consideration phase where they're maybe comparing different options. And transactional is when they are ready to buy. So different keywords have different intent, and that's important to understand. But where you put those words actually matters on your website. And there are 2 important areas on your website where you want those keywords. Number 1, you want it in the page's title, which is often what shows up in search results. And number 2, you want them in your headings, which is usually the larger text on your web page. Now, a quick word of caution, before you go and fill your page with all these keywords, just be careful, because Google will actually penalize your website if you use the words too many. Google is smart and is getting smarter every day, so use the keywords naturally, but intentionally. Okay, let's talk about pillar number 2. Is your website set up in a way that Google understands? And this is referring to the technical side of your website. Now, I know you might hear technical and freak out a little bit, but here's the thing. A lot of website builders actually make this pretty easy to work with. So what are we kind of thinking about here? Well, think of it like this. Yes, Google is very smart, but it's just a bot. And there are certain things that the bot can't understand that a human can. And so you want to make sure that you help assist Google in understanding some of your content. So here's some things to consider. Number 1, you want to make sure that all the links and buttons on your website actually work. Number 2, you want to make sure that your website works really well on mobile, because that's actually the one that Google looks at. And number 3, You want to help Google understand your images by adding descriptions, often known as alt text. Lastly, another thing to consider in more of a general sense is you want your website to load pretty quickly. Okay, let's jump into the last pillar here. Do other websites mention or link to your website? Okay, this one might surprise you, but there's actually a really huge ranking factor that doesn't even happen on your website. And that's in reference to your website's authority. And what does that mean? Well, it's kind of like a popularity contest. And here's the best way to describe it. Think of it this way. You're looking for a restaurant recommendation. You go and ask 10 strangers, and most of them tell you about this one restaurant. And so you think to yourself, oh yeah, that one's actually got to be pretty good. But here's the thing. What if your friend gave you a recommendation? You'd probably put a little bit more weight behind it. Now, what if Gordon Ramsay came to you and said, you got to try this restaurant? Well, then you'd be sold. It would be a really good restaurant. In a similar way, Google looks at all the websites that link to yours. And if a website has more authority that links to you, that carries more weight with Google. Kind of like how if Gordon Ramsay came to you and told you to try a restaurant, you would probably assume that was a really good restaurant. And here's another factor as well. The relevance of the website that links to you also does help. So you want to be linked on websites that are kind of related to your business or service. All right, so we went over the three main pillars. What can you be doing on your website right now for SEO? So we'll go over each of the pillars again and the specific actions you can take today on your website. So for pillar number one, what I want you to start with is writing unique titles for each page. And this is where you put your keywords in. And if you're a location-based business serving a certain area, I'd also recommend putting the location in there as well. Next up, if you don't have a page for each service you offer, I'd highly recommend breaking out a services page into individual services for each that you offer. You can start with the highest value service to you and then work your way down. Think of it this way. Which one is Google going to rank? A page with a bunch of different services or one specifically targeted service? So you might be wondering what to write about on the services page, and I'll give you three things. Number one, what the service actually is. And yes, this one might seem obvious, but not everyone understands the service as well as you do, so make sure you explain it clearly. Number two, answer any frequently asked questions you get about that service. And number three, describe the process of working with you. Putting SEO aside for a second, these pages are still a chance to get to sell yourself to someone. So make sure you describe the full process of start to finish of what it'd look like working with you. So for pillar number two, you want to make sure that all the links and buttons on your website take your visitors where they're supposed to go. Number two, you want to make sure that your website loads pretty fast. And often the culprit here is images. So before you upload images to your website, go ahead and shrink them down, especially if you're using a camera to take them. Often the resolution is just too big for a website, so you kind of want to shrink that file size down. Third, you want to make sure that your website on mobile works well. So take out your phone, go to your website and play around with it and make sure everything works as expected. Lastly, make sure that you add descriptions to each of the photos on your website. Think like you're describing the photo to someone you're talking to on the phone and use that description. So for pillar number three, how can we start getting links to your website? And the easiest way to start is to get your website listed on local and relevant online directories. And how do we start? Number one, I would go to Google, type in your service near me, and see which directories come up. These are often directories like Yelp or Angie, and it's good to list your business on those, including a website, address, phone number, and making sure those are consistent across some of the other online directories. Second, if you're a part of a local organization such as the Chamber of Commerce, make sure that your website is listed on there. Or if you sponsor any local events, that's another great opportunity for a link and helps signal to Google where you actually do business. These basic SEO steps can help more people find your business online, but the truth is this is just scratching the surface of SEO. There's a lot more to it, and you should be doing this on an ongoing basis. So my name is Derek and I run a business called 5 Lights Web Design where we help your business get found online. If you have any questions about SEO or want me to take a look at your current online presence, feel free to shoot me an email and I'd be happy to offer recommendations tailored to you. So you'll find a link in the description where you can contact me to learn more.